In this video, I'll be testing a scalping strategy that 100% works, created by Trade IQ. I'll be backtesting this 100 times using GU on the 15-minute time frame. So let's see if it really works. Okay, so for this strategy, we're going to need two indicators. So go to the indicators tab, and for the first indicator, we're going to need the super trend plus. Now we can leave these settings at default because this is going to be used to find our trend direction. As we can see, it's going to be colored in green with a green cloud when price is in a bullish structural market. And it's also going to be colored in red, as well as having a red cloud when we're in a sell structural market. So we're going to be using this to find our trend direction and also to find optimal trading points. So now let's go and get our entry signal indicator. And for the second indicator, we're going to need the commodity channel index, also known as CCI. Now let's just make some adjustments to the visibility in the settings. So go to style, and I'm going to change the CCI color from blue to white, and also make the upper and lower bands a bit more visible. Okay, so we're going to be using this to find our entry signals, and the way the CCI works, it identifies oversold and overbought conditions, very similar to the RSI. So we're going to be looking for selling opportunities when price becomes overbought, and this is identified by the CCI line breaking above the yellow line, which is the 100 level, which means we're overbought. Now vice versa to this, we're also going to be buying once the CCI line breaks below the yellow line, which is the minus 100s. So now let's go over the exact entry criteria of how exactly can we use this system. Okay, so this is your entry criteria when looking for long positions. First, we need to make sure that we're trading above the super trend and it's colored in green, signify we're in a buy structural market. Now secondly, we're going to wait for price to pull back to the super trend, since the super trends likes to use this line as support and resistance. But in this scenario, we're looking for buys, so we're waiting for price to pull back and use this as a support. Now for this to be a valid support level, price must not close past this green line. And if it does, that's going to be an invalid entry signal. And now we've verified this support, we need to wait for our entry signal, which is the CCI. Now for a valid entry signal to happen, we need the CCI to become oversold and also break back above into our channel. And once the CCI breaks above the yellow line, that's now a new valid signal to go long. But we're not going to enter this signal until price action prints a bullish candle that engulfs the bottom bearish candle. Price was in a bearish push phase to the downside, and now price has engulfed the bottom bearish candle. Now all of these confirmations have been met, we can take the instant execution, stop loss below the most recent swing low, and we will be targeting a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Now in his system he goes for a 1.5, but I think a 1 to 2 is more realistic. Okay, so also for your trade management, just let the trade run to stop loss or take profit. So let's take a look at another long example. Okay, so as we can see, price is trading above the super trend line, and it's also colored in green, signifying we're in a bullish structural market. Now secondly, we've had price action pull back to the CCI green line, using it as a valid support level since price did not break and close past this line. So now we're going to wait for the CCI to become oversold and also break back above the bottom yellow channel. And once this occurs, the final verification to enter this signal will be the candle that breaks the bearish bottom candle. So as we can see here, price was trending down, and this was the final bearish candle at the bottom of this push phase. So now this is being engulfed, we can take the instant execution, stop loss below the most recent swing low, and we will target a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Okay, so it's definitely getting hit. Let's go and take a look at the sell criteria. Okay, so this is your entry criteria when looking for short positions. First, we need to make sure we're below the super trend and it's colored in red, signifying we're in a sell structural market. And secondly, we're going to wait for price to pull back to the super trend line, using it as resistance. Now for this to be a valid resistance, price must not close past this super trend line, otherwise that's an invalid setup. So as we can see here, price has respected the super trend resistance. So now we're going to wait for the CCI to give us a valid entry signal, and this is signified by the CCI line breaking above the top yellow channel band, which is the 100 level, and breaking back below. Now Now once it breaks back below the band, that's a new valid entry signal, and for our verification we're going to wait for price to print a bearish candle which breaks past the low of the most extreme bullish candle that started this push. So as we can see here, this is our most extreme bullish candle since that was the end of the bullish push phase. So now we have all these confirmations in check. We're going to take the instant execution, stop loss above the most recent swing high, and we will be targeting a 1 to 2 risk to rewards. Beautiful. So let's go and take a look at another short example. Okay, so as we can see here, the super trend is colored in red and price is also trading below it, which means we're in a sell structural market. So then we waited for price to pull back to the super trend and use it as a resistance. Now, like always, for it to be a valid resistance, the candles must not close above the super trend, because if it does, that's going to invalid our setup. So now all these confirmations have been in check. This is a valid resistance. We're going to wait for our entry signal, which is the CCI line, becoming overbought and then also breaking back below the yellow line. Now once it's broken back below the yellow line, we can now take this as a valid entry signal only if price action is printed a bearish candle that has broken past the low of the most extreme bullish candle. So as we can see here, this is the most extreme bullish candle that marks the end of the bullish push before the resistance was hit. So we can take this as an instant execution, stop loss above the most recent swing high, and we will target a 1 to 2 risk to rewards. Okay, so it seems extremely simple. I'm going to go and backtest this 100 times and come back to you with the results. Okay, so in 4 months, I took 100 trades, 46 won and 54 lost, which means we had a win rate of 46%. Now, we also had a max drawdown of 4R and a max gain of 6R. So that was positive, and the win rate being 46% when we're going for a 1 to 2 is good. This is definitely a good system for you guys to be using. Now for the net profit, we made 38% in 4 months. Now that type of percent is only achieved on this strategy because we trade in 24 hours. But if you were to utilize more pairs into your system, only if you're advanced, you would actually make a similar result trading 3 pairs in that time frame. So this is definitely one that I'm going to be incorporating using price action and testing it on and releasing it later on down the line for you guys. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts about this system down below. And like always, thank you for watching.